Off to a 6-0 start for the first time in 2 decades, the Air Force Falcons are nationally ranked, checking in at number 22 in both national polls and are riding the 4th longest active win streak in the country, 11 wins and counting. This week, the Falcons turn their attention to one of the fiercest rivalries in all of sports. Hi, everybody. I'm Jesse Kurtz here in the Mountain West Network studio, where it's my pleasure to head out to the United States Air Force Academy and bring in Falcons senior defensive back and all Mountain West performer, Trey Taylor. Trey, it's great to run you down. How are you, bud?
I'm doing really good. Blessed to be here.
We're blessed to have you, so I appreciate the time. Let's start with the scene at Falcons Stadium on Saturday night. Air Force beats Wyoming 34-27 in what was an instant Mountain West classic. And after the game, I saw something I had never seen. The cadet wing, rather than staying in the stands for the playing of the third verse, they couldn't contain themselves. They rushed down to the field to celebrate with you. What was that moment like?
I mean, it was awesome. The culture here right now is amazing. I mean, you got a lot of support coming from people that go to class with you that honestly we haven't had in a while. So seeing everybody's face walking through the hallway, smiling, greeting people, it's been pretty cool. And, we have, some 75, 80-year-old fans in the front rows, and seeing them getting out their seat and, almost jumping onto the field with them was pretty cool as well. So it's a really nice environment right now, and we're going to keep that up.
You were named Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week for your efforts in that victory. Made 10 tackles, had a huge tackle for loss in the second half. But the play of the game certainly was your blocked extra point that preserved the 27-27 tie in the fourth quarter. Walk me through your approach. What were you trying to do? What ultimately unfolded? And how did you get the block?
Yeah, so we implemented that play on Thursday, really as a walkthrough day. We saw how they were kind of vulnerable in the front, and we have a really strong guy, Peyton Zajoik, in the very front that's able to lead a push like that. And so I just got behind him, kind of rode his train for a little bit, and at the hike of the ball, I got to split the D of the center and the guard, and it opened up just like we saw in film, which means I've been studying that for a while. So, I saw that open up, and it was like it was perfect. It was like a dream. It was like a dream.
Well, you get the block. The Falcons then score the game-winning touchdown moments later and move to 6-0 for the first time since 2002. 4-0 in Mountain West play for the first time in program history, and you're also bowl eligible for the 14th time in 17 seasons under Troy Calhoun. As a team leader, how are you making sure that this team remains laser focused and understands that you're only halfway home? There's plenty of football left to be played.
Yeah, it's actually really easy right now. We have some group chats on the team with the leaders and some with, just all the players or just position based. And everybody has the understanding that this is a week by week thing. Our goal at the beginning of the season is to go undefeated. So when we line our goals like that with each other, there's no reason why, when we start going undefeated, everything goes awry. Like, this is something that we've planned, something that we've built upon, and we're finally reaping the benefits. So everybody has a really good mindset going into this week and weeks further. But like I said, it's a 1-0 every week type thing. And so that's why we're focused like this for this next competition, which is Navy.
A big reason for your success has been the defense. It's been one of the best in the country over the last couple of years. Ranked number 1 at the end of last season in total defense, and you're doing it again this year, ranked 3rd in the country in total defense, giving up just around 240 yards per game. What is your defense doing with its scheme, with the way that you guys are playing, that is giving opponents fits?
I think that our coaches are doing a really good job of putting people where they feel like they can help out the team and incorporate anything their skills and talents in whatever regard that they can. Coach Knorr is brilliant. He does a really good job calling the defenses, knowing what he wants to call before the game even starts, and giving us those looks every day in practice and walkthrough. The amount of walkthrough reps that we do as a team is like pivotal to what we're actually able to do on the field. I saw a lot of the plays that Wyoming ran last week, the day before, 2 days before, 3 days before, a week before the actual game started. So it's pretty cool to be able to see that type of stuff happen before you actually get there, and it makes it a whole lot easier when the day actually comes.
But the Falcons rank in the top 10 in 4 major defensive categories right now. Next up, of course, a big one for the Air Force Falcons, a trip to Navy to battle the midshipmen, the Commander-in-Chief trophy back on the line. Of course, it currently makes its home at the Air Force Academy. The Falcons have now beaten the Mids in 3 straight seasons and own the only win by the road team in this series over the last decade. That came in 2021. What is a Service Academy game like for you as a player?
First of all, you respect each team that you play, and you know that because you practice against similar things that you're going to see when you play them, it makes the practice reps that you had in the spring leading up to this even more special whenever you align whatever you're doing right now in practice to what you've seen a few months ago. And so bringing all that together, like the culmination of it all, and then being able to process that and put it all on the field is special. And then, of course, the feel of the crowd, the feel of, even the media hyping up the game is pretty cool. You know that it's a big game, big consequences, and big wins for when we do win. It's gonna be fun on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to it.
Air Force owns 21 Commander-in-Chief trophies. Navy has 16. Army has 9. You were named preseason All Mountain West before the season, and so far you've certainly lived up to the hype and then some. 38 tackles, ranked second on your team, 4.5 tackles for loss, a couple of interceptions, and a block kick. What folks may not know is you come from some pretty incredible bloodlines. Your cousin is Pro Football Hall of Famer Ed Reed, one of the greatest to ever play your position in the history of this game. How has he influenced you as a player?
Yeah, so just being able to talk to him on a Sunday after a game, whether it's text or phone call, is really cool. And I respect every single thing he has to say, even if there are some things that I feel like I could do a little bit differently than even he's saying. Everything that he says I take into account and I implement it, or I try to implement it in practice. And if it works in practice, I'm going to do it for the next week. And a lot of things that he says help out on the field, which I can definitely see a shift from last year's play to this year's play. And really just my confidence. He gives me a lot of confidence to go out there and tells me I'm the best on the field, so act like it and play like it. And, I take that and try to implement that into my game, build my confidence before I even hit the field, and it helps me out big time.
Well, of course, you're more than a football player at the Air Force Academy. You're a future second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. Recently, the seniors got their assignments for their jobs post-graduation. What are you going to be doing?
So I'll be in Boston. I'll be an acquisitions officer, which will be really cool. I've heard really good things about Boston, so getting over there and swimming in Cape Cod is going to be a really good memory for me, so I'm excited for it.
Well, Trey, first of all, thanks for joining us here today. Secondly, congratulations on the 6-0 start. Third, thank you for your service to your country. And, of course, good luck this Saturday against Navy.
Well, I appreciate you, sir. Yeah, have a good one.
You as well. That's Trey Taylor, senior defensive back for the Air Force Falcons. By the way, you can watch Air Force and Navy this Saturday. Kickoff from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium is set for noon Eastern Time and will be broadcast nationally by CBS. From the Mountain West Network studio, I'm Jesse Kurtz.